Oh, where's your beaded lanyard? Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know. I left my lanyard. I left my medallion on my desk, and it was gone this morning. So.
Not the one that Natalie made.
Yes, the one that Natalie made.
I thought you were going to have a different one for every day. That's what you told me.
Not. It's coming. It's coming.
It's a work in progress.
People wouldn't. Nyakit, Janet. Halito, Sio.
That's the Huntadish.
Kikadus.
Kunamante.
Kunamante. Madawaka. Gwena.
Stongo.
Stongo. Ische.
Okay, keep going. I love it.
Buenos dias.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes.
Coming live from the Frisco Center in Clinton, Oklahoma. From the Elders Conference. We got some elders, young elders here with us.
Baby elders.
Would y'all like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. You want to go first?
Sure. I'm Dylan Fox. I am Connor's executive assistant for the Department of Health.
Whatever. Good morning. My name is Connor Bushyhead. I am the executive director for our Cheyenne and Arapaho Tribes Department of Health. Happy to be here.
Wadoo.
Oh, I'm Carmelo Revelis, the case manager for the tour project.
Wadoo.
Are you just Greek today?
Yeah, I'm Seminole.
It's Seminole.
Okay.
You gotta say it right.
No.
Stongo at the sky. Well, how do y'all feel today? Nice turnout. I see my mom in there, so I get to nurse today. I feel
Well, that's good. You were hoping she was going to come, so.
Yeah. So I already feel good, you know. Yeah, it's Native American Heritage Month.
Yeah.
First day.
That's kind of a big deal, you know, especially out here in Western Oklahoma, you know, in Custer County. I can't stand
my
that.
goodness.
You know what I
Right?
mean? Buster County. But, you know, I'm from Thomas, so I was literally born right down the road. So,
Yeah.
you know, growing up with the town called Custer City right next, you know, they went to school with us. So, you know, I was probably kind of mean if you were from Custer City, but
As you should be.
you know, but you know, it feels good. It feels good. Hopefully we can get some elders to come in, drop some knowledge with us, you know, get their viewpoints on a couple of things, but I'm glad y'all could join us today.
Me too. We were kind of nervous about coming out here because we didn't have a table set up for today, but I was like, yeah, we got to go out there. We got to network. I also know I got to go see some people in person because that's my announcement. Shout out to Tor for setting up the teepee on Tuesday for our mental health conference. So we're having a mental health training for our employees on Tuesday. It's a follow-up. And Darian has graciously decided to allow us to use the teepee beforehand so we can do some cedering, offer some cedering to any employees that may want it before and after and in between the sessions. So we love you guys.
Oh, well, you know, Darian committed to that, so he'll be the one setting that up. That's the way it goes with Tor. You know, if you commit to something, you got to be the one to show up. So good luck, Darian. You know, we'll probably come by afterwards, and you know, we'll see how tight that teepee is when you get done. So we'll have some Cheyenne women come look at it.
I'll be there.
Yeah. I don't know why we just don't get them to come set it up anyways.
I know, right?
Takes us forever.
Yeah, we're still learning. It's a crow teepee, so you know that's my excuse. But should we go ahead and jump off into this reading before I get carried away and get vulgar? I'm trying to keep it professional, you know.
Just professional today.
But I can't look at Justin's face and keep it professional too long. So we better go ahead.
Well, Justin on the podcast, so.
I mean, Justin. I said Justin.
That's how unprofessional we
Yeah.
are.
It's all right. Everybody, for some reason, just gets me and Justin's name mixed up. Like
It's so easy.
all the time.
It's so easy.
They don't even sound alike. Like Justin
Or look alike.
and Dylan. Oh gosh.
It's like the fifth time I've done that. So.
It's okay.
Janelle is on. She says good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Nene.
morning.
Kendrick is saying Nyakit from the Frisco Center.
Oh, Nyakit.
Good morning. Good morning.
David Deer, good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining us on our YouTube.
Stongo.
If you didn't know, we do have a YouTube. Make sure you're liking and subscribing over there as well. Everything that you don't see, if you can't see it on our Facebook, is on our YouTube as well. I know. Morning,
David.
Sharon.
Stongo.
Thanks for joining in.
Well, yeah, let us have it.
All right, let's go. November 1st, Elders Meditation of the Day. Times change, but principles do not. Times change, but lands do not. Times change, but our culture and our language remain the same. And that's what you have to keep intact. It's not what you wear, it's what's in your heart. It comes from Oren Lyons, Onondaga. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Good enough.
I'll get as close as I can. Sorry, I'm producing at the same time. So, going back to the old ways doesn't mean giving up electricity, homes, and cars. It means living by the same principles, laws, and values that our ancestors lived by. This will allow us to live successfully in today's world. The spirituality our ancestors lived is the same spirituality we need in these modern times. There are too many influences from TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, and negative role models that are guiding our lives in a bad way. Our stability is in the laws, principles, and values that our ancestors were given and that our elders teach us. And today's prayer is, Great Spirit, let me live my life in a spiritual way.
Let me go first. Well, thank you, Mr. Revelis, for reading that. It kind of, the other readings that we had earlier this week, we have this like colonized mindset that of what happiness is today. The white picket fence, a nice home, nice clothes, which, are comforts that, are nice. But is that what makes me a good person? Is that what makes me approachable? Is that what makes me want to help people? I think about the laws and the principles and, our culture. I think about those types of things. And I think about our ancestors and how much they didn't have. They had like the bare minimum. And it seemed like they were thriving, spiritually. I can't even imagine, how I probably couldn't even survive back then, like I'm so spoiled today, with all the comforts that we have. But if we are without those comforts, then for some reason, we feel like we're failing. For some reason, we don't feel whole if we're not in that colonized mindset. And I've just been fortunate enough to I have very humble beginnings. I grew up very poor. With a single mother, we never had a car. Like, we never had a lot of things that a lot of families had. But I didn't know that we were poor. I didn't know that we were without. I thought that was just the way life was. And I seen my mom trying a whole lot and, and her struggling in her addiction. But at the same time, she was able to put these things in our head about what being rich was. She said, you have your health. You got a family that loves you. And so that makes you rich. So I kind of lost touch with that when I moved to El Reno, of course, was running the streets, running wild, lost touch with that. So now today in my sobriety, today I have 3 years, 5 months, and 28 days today, which is like a miracle to me. It's like a miracle. And what I found is the interconnectedness that I can use of where I used to be and where I'm at today. and how culture plays into that, and how I've turned to our traditional ways to help me keep my feet on the ground. I mean, I have the bare minimum today, like I don't have a lot of things, but what I do have is happiness. What I do have is the love of my family, and not the best health, but it could be way worse, So, just thinking about the laws, principles, and the values that we have today, and that colonized mindset, thinking that if I'm not rich money wise, then I'm probably not happy. But from a person that came from where I came from, to be where I am today, I feel completely blessed, and I'm grateful, thankful, and appreciative of the life that the Creator has allowed me to have today. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on.
See, Dylan joined in just a while ago. Walked in.
Oh yeah, Justin, you see Dylan?
Oh my goodness.
Who would like to go next?
I don't know. We're your guests. You tell us.
Go, Dylan.
Me? Well, thank you for those thoughts, Mary. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
I think one of the main things that stuck out to me, and especially like in today's world, social media, I feel like plays a big part in a lot of the stuff that we do. And there was a passage that I heard in there about, taking things from different media that wasn't always the ways that we learn. We learn through like talking to each other and communicating face to face. And I feel like today, especially, we've kind of lost touch of that a little bit. And I'm not going to say that social media is anything bad. I think it's awesome that we can connect with people. We can connect with people around the world, no matter where you're at. And I think that's really positive. But there's also, I like to say that there's like, you take the goods and the bads from it, and you really have to recognize the bads that you're getting from it as well. I mean, because just you go on Twitter, Facebook, and there's always something negative somebody's saying about somebody or something, and I think it's really important to recognize when I feel like you're getting a little bit too much negative stuff, and especially with the election coming up in 4 days, I believe. There's been a lot of, I feel like there's been a lot of negative things on both sides, and
For sure.
It does suck to see, because I do think that, especially this upcoming generation, the younger generation that we have, and I'm not saying I'm not part of that younger generation, but I think that there is a reliance on social media to get those connections.
Yeah.
And I think, talking about going back to the way things that we used to do, I think that is very important to get that face-to-face interaction. Because more times than not, it is positive, especially when connecting with, your native people. Just being around them and having that sense of community, I think is awesome. So I think that's what I really pulled from that passage.
Yeah.
But
That was good. Both of y'all. I like it. But like Dylan had said, part of that face-to-face interaction, just like today, like we could have easily sent an email to ask some of the questions that we needed to ask, but I was like, our way is face-to-face. It's better that way. We don't like to lose that connection through that basic interaction. And whenever I think about in terms of richness, like how you were saying, a lot of us live in that colonized mindset where it's you're striving to get a better job that pays more. Yeah, maybe it pulls you up out of that poverty, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's more so about what internally makes you happy without those things, because I've been in those situations before where I thought, money, my career, my job, everything, like those were things that were going to make me happy. Then ultimately, when it came down to it, I've been homeless before. So the basic needs of understanding and realizing who your family is, those conversations that you can just have at any point in time to help lift you up, like those are important. That's what's meaningful. Who you surround yourself with, how they uplift you, how they build you up. And I think transitioning from being like a younger adult into the older years and kind of realizing that and understanding that, we grew up in a single parent household too. So we've had our struggles, and there was times when we had just beans and water to eat and drink. And then it's like, then those times when you do have that extra money, what if somebody comes by and they need the extra money, they need the extra money, I'll give what I have, and I'll take the beans and water. I love beans and water. Like even just the plain bread, like plain loaf bread,
sugar bread.
See, you get what I'm saying. Like we've been there before. And I'm that type of person. Like over the years, I've grown to like learn, understand, and realize that. I mean, we're all connected. We are all connected. Native people, we are all connected, and it's more so about helping each other on that level and realizing, we're here for each other, whatever capacity it may be. Spiritually, getting back to those roots, even whenever you think about it in terms of the health world, like. Yeah, we get these extra money. Look at the ones with the extra money. Are they a little bit bigger? We could be eating healthier. We could be growing our own vegetables. We could be,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like things like that. And man, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling. I got to look at the passage again. But richness to me, character. For sure. Being honest and true to yourself. And always, for me, it's always putting others before me. I think that's kind of what led me into the profession of nursing, wanting to better help and serve people in any capacity that I could. And for Native people, I know that it's better connection. Face-to-face, they're more receptive to listen and actually listen and take what you can teach them. When you connect with them on that level, and you can't do that over the internet. Because it'll be like, were you getting mad at me? No, I wasn't getting mad at you, but like you don't get a tone.
Yeah.
And emojis, I mean, come on.
All caps.
I mean, I understand that. I do understand that when we get the all caps exclamation points, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's kind of
that interaction, that connection, like you were saying.
Yeah, that's, we're human. That's kind of what everyone strives for. I mean, and then even when you guys, I mean, it's a testament, even whenever you share your personal stories, that same, it's true, it's real. You see it face to face, you hear it. So yeah, that's kind of what I got from that.
Mado.
Your family member, Mr. Jimmy Harjo, said Mado.
Mado, Jimmy.
And Stongo. So
good morning.
Yep. Good morning, everybody. Isaac, Kat, Sank,
butter
Mary
noodles.
Faye.
I've had butter noodles.
Oh,
yes.
with some parm.
Yes, Mary Faye, is it your birthday? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mary Faye. All right.
I can sing happy birthday in Cheyenne.
Bust it out.
Nehiyama Ishid, Nehiyama Ishid, Nehiyama Ishid, Neasta Ama.
Yashime.
Yeah.
All
That's
right. I've never heard that.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Desi can sing it in Arapaho.
Oh,
Just
well.
FYI.
I don't know how much Mary Faye will like that because she's a Pawnee lady.
Oh.
No, she's part CNA.
Hey.
She's a blackout.
Yeah.
Mm.
She's my family.
Yeah.
Mm. No, I'm just like.
You're the only one that didn't like it.
Yeah. Let's
It's
hear
okay.
it.
Well, go ahead and give us
I know.
your.
Go ahead.
I don't even want to talk now. No.
Say it in Pawnee, then.
No, I don't know it.
That's right.
Feliz cumpleaños. No, I think what you guys had to say is pretty on point. The it's what I found as I was growing up is like you said, like I never knew that we were struggling. I never knew that we were going through hard times, and I think our mom growing up kind of made a point for us to not recognize those things, and she was always one to make sure that, like, if you said we were having, I remember she was like, if you guys always, there were four things she said always have in your house. She said always have rice, always have beans, always have potatoes, and she was like, and you can always make a meal out of whatever it is you have. And I was just like, oh yeah. And I was just like, and literally, like, my nephew was like, hey, I'm gonna go get some groceries, order some stuff you need. Like the first four things, I was like, oh, get some rice, get some beans and some potatoes. I was like, and I remember those like off the bat, like those are one of the things that she always told us all the time. And so those kind of things have stuck with me throughout time. And so, like, even during times now where, like, even as my family, if I feel like that we're struggling, I don't think that my kids would ever know that that's going on. And it's just been instilled into me over this time. But what I see now is with the emphasis on the things like social media or just media in general, and the people that, as a parent, that my younger kids are focusing on, it's, and for them to try to portray themselves in that element and to think that they have to be a certain way. Sometimes it's hard because that's never something I had to deal with whenever I was younger. We grew up in a time where if you had internet in your house, it was a huge deal. Or if you had a phone in your house, it was a huge deal. You don't know anything about that, Justin. but that's what it cracks me up to think about, like, even during the times that, like, how much has changed since we were young. And like, I include you in that because you're still young too.
Yeah, I think I'm like in that middle phase.
So like when I think about it, I'm just like, oh my man, I was like, we used to go through, and like the internet was invented whenever we were born. I mean, during the time when we were young.
Yeah.
And you had to wait for it. You couldn't be on the phone at the same time. Yeah, as the internet was going on. So, all that stuff was going on. And so now it's like the access to things that kids have now is like, it's amazing to me. And like, sometimes it's entitlement because there's Google and there's things. Why do I have to learn this stuff? Because I could just look it up. Mm-hmm. Or why do I have to do this whenever I have a calculator? I remember when calculators were like a huge deal for a person to have. I was like, man, my calculator was always up here. And
spell words out on.
Spell words out.
Oh gosh.
It was just always hello. It wasn't nothing else.
Yeah,
always hello.
But to see how much of change and how much emphasis things like I go through it with my kids. And so, but to help them to try to understand that there's a spirituality concept, there's cultural concept, there's traditional concept, there's, and to try to get them to understand that everything is a process for them to learn, and not everything's just going to be like, oh, here it is. Yeah, here it is. Don't worry. And I had to break myself with that because I was that way with Mello, when we went through all the crap that we went through. And I remember I was just like, man, this kid's never going to want for nothing. He's never going to need anything. I'm going to do everything in the world for him. And it wasn't until someone like almost like, smacked me and was like, hey, you can't be doing that. He's never going to learn anything. Mm-hmm. And so I had to change my entire parenting approach for him to start understanding, like, I was treating him in a way that wasn't going to allow him to achieve like ultimate growth. And now I have my daughters, which are a totally different element, that I'm trying to teach them, like, hey, not everything's going to be easy. Dad's not always going to be able to be there to make sure that this is going to go okay. Mom's not always going to be there to make sure this is going to be okay. You have to learn how to do different things. You have to learn about your culture. You have to learn about your traditions. You have to learn about your spirituality. I was like, because you're not going to be able to teach your own kids that stuff. And that's what I'm trying to teach my son now. And It's harder with him because he's grown and he thinks he knows everything sometimes. And I remember being that age. And I think I still battle with that now sometimes. And I'm 42 years old now, and I still think I know everything, and I don't. And so, but just going through the daily battles and stuff that we went through when we were younger is completely different than the battles they're facing now. And I'm having to relearn the stuff that they're going through because mental health wasn't a thing back then. I'd never tried to let them know anything, but like you do with the grandkids now, it's such a blessing to know that they're never going to see me in the state that I was in whenever I was younger. Because I would never want them to have to experience the stuff that I did whenever I was really young. Before I was 8, we were talking about the other day, like I had my first drink when I was 6 years old. And it was, because it was like, it's like the coolest thing in the world to be like, oh yeah, I had a beer. Oh yeah, I take my mom's cigarettes all the time. We just go and smoke. It's not a big deal. And that was back before they even had the age limits to when you can go and buy cigarettes and stuff. And so, that she'd get her pack back and there'd already be 2 gone. But I'm sorry, I wanted to see what it was like on the way home. And so that was,
go pick them up.
Yeah. Now keep the change, buy you a piece of gum.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, it's just things like that, the different battles, and I have to learn those, and it's totally different. But they also have an understanding about things that we never understood. And I remember now that my kids are going through some of the stuff they are, I'm just like, man, I was like, that's never anything that we ever had to worry about.
Yeah.
And just for instance, like my daughter yesterday, she was like, everybody's exactly the same. And it's mostly because everybody follows the same stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody follows the same people, or everybody listens to the same people.
Trends.
Yeah. And I'm just like, she was like, everybody's the same. She was like, so whenever I try to make friends, I don't even know how to do it anymore. And I'm just like, what is, that's just a weird, it's just like a weird
Send
thing.
them a friend request.
Yeah.
Right?
But like social media, that's never something they're like, hey, Dad, I need to have this, or I need to have that. It's just never something they're ever been hyped on. But there's kids now where, you're walking around and there's a 5-year-old with a phone.
Yeah.
And they know exactly where to go and do all this stuff and
Yeah.
everything. And so it's like I said, the environment's different. Everything they're learning is different. And it's funny to me because there's sometimes where their grandparents, like last night we went out with their grandparents and they were teaching them how to do different things on their phone. Oh, Leah, if you want to do this, just show them how to do this. And I was just like, I don't even know how to do that. So yeah, that's just, the emphasis on everything that we're supposed to be focusing on and everything we got to learn is just totally different now. So patience is key. Oh my goodness, patience is key when it comes to that. So, but yeah. I'm going to start rambling on too. So.
Yeah. Well, it was a good reading today.
Yeah.
I think it goes great with it being Native American, Heritage Month. I like to think outside of the box, which means, I don't like to have that colonized mindset. We were having a conversation yesterday about how much we're in a colonized mindset. We were pulling up to, a 4-way, and there was no other cars. And that was like, that's a colonized mindset to think that I have to stop right here because
Oh man, that's a good one.
But she said that's how bad it is. What natural law says it,
Right.
that. So I mean, I think it's a rabbit hole. Like you can go down and just name thing after thing that we feel like we need in our lives today to be happy. When I woke up today, so I'm already winning.
Right.
I got to say my morning prayers, so I've already made that conscious contact with the Creator. So and I get to see my mom today. I get to nurse, so I don't want y'all laughing whenever I'm
Okay.
Yeah. So she started spanking me. Nah. But are we gonna do the announcements?
And we can.
Or are we just gonna wait?
I guess we could just wait.
Yeah, we could probably just wait on that because we're gonna be on here off and on all day. We do appreciate.
Sharon said, "Oh no, she's Cheyenne. I'm sorry." We're talking about Mary Faye. Jimmy named out some things. He said flour, beans, grease, and taters were the 4 things that he said.
Oh, yeah.
Julia said that they had an outhouse and they had to haul water.
Oh man.
It's like, yeah,
Good morning, Julie.
that's a really long name. Billy Joe. I'll just say Billy Joe.
Billy Joe.
Many blessings from Billy Joe. Aunt Jessie's on here. She's here at the Frisco Center.
Good morning.
Isaac said you knew you were well off if you had all the encyclopedias at your house.
Man.
That's true, though. That's true, though.
I don't think we ever owned any of those.
Yeah, and then you remember before we had phones and stuff, we used to have a map.
Yeah.
I was always the one that had to read the map when we were. No, not MapQuest.
Dylan,
Like an actual
like
map.
Like a big book.
Yeah, there was like a big
You
old
had to hold
atlas.
the
That
whole
they had every state and every road
Yes.
inside of it.
Yeah, an atlas.
Dylan's
You
like,
know
that's
how
in the
to use
history
the
section.
It's like, I read about
Man, I was talking to somebody about that the other day because we went in somewhere and they had all these maps for the different states. And I'm like, I haven't seen these in so
I know,
long.
right?
It made me think of my grandpa and my mom and like when we used to go on road trips with them a lot and
Yeah.
they'd be having the maps. And
Yeah.
they'd
You
be-
see right where you're at on the road.
Yes, and they would be
Here's
like
the
a
curve.
little pencil, like to
Yeah.
map out like wherever we were going and stuff. And I remember, I was like, man, I remember that because I used to get hit in the head all the time. You gave me the wrong direction. Still don't know my directions.
I know, it
Just
was
kidding,
in
I do now.
I always give my mom
The other
grief.
left.
My mom grief because she, anytime I ask her like where something is or something, she'll be like, "Oh, you just take this road down to this
Yeah,
road.
yeah,
you
yeah,
take a
yeah.
slight left." And I'm just tell me where it is. I'll just type it in.
Yeah, like roads were never a thing. It was always landmarks back in the day. So
Yeah.
it's like, hey, go
by
down.
the big tree.
Yeah, go down
Take
to
a right.
Payless and then turn left, and you'll pass the churches.
Yeah.
My landmark is Concho. If I know where Concho is, Concho's north. So I know where everything else is. based
Unless
on
you're in
that.
Okarche, and then it's
Then I don't know where I'm at after
I'm
that.
lost.
I'm for real.
Go to Aish, and she's just gone.
Yeah.
For real, I have a funny story about that. I think I was in high school still, and Zach was in maybe 8th grade, and I was taking him to a Halloween party that one of the Darlington kids were having out there, and it was somewhere out there around the casino.
Yeah.
I think like kind of where Dee and them live on the other side of the
Mhm.
highway. And I remember we were driving and we got lost, and Zach's like calling them for directions, and he's like, okay, yeah, we're at that stop sign. Zach's like, okay, go north, and I'm driving, so I go straight. Zach hits me, he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, north is like whatever's in front of you. And he's like, oh my gosh, and you're the smart one. I was like, I'm sorry. And that's when I was in high school, and I'm like, man,
Oh my goodness.
I know now. Well, if
She
I know
knows
where
where Concho is.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I
That's
watch.
so
I
funny.
don't know if you'll watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but there's this one little bit in there where he's like, Charlie's like, the map says go north, and they're like, I thought north was like up.
Yeah. Zach,
Sounds like some kind of.
Zach said that was last month when they took those rides. She had to drop him off.
Whatever.
They
See?
get beamed up.
Dang.
Well, thank you for coming on. I think we're gonna take a little break, go get some more guests, somebody who knows where North is,
Stop it.
and
I do have one announcement I want to make. We are having our active aging elders events coming up. So Department of Health has a Facebook that we launched. I think it was sometime in August. I currently have the lowest amount of followers compared to all of the other Department of Health programs. But if you guys want to follow us, that would be great. Department of Health, or Cheyenne and Arapaho Tribes Department of Health. If you guys can share it for me, that would be great.
I shared it.
I know, but I have
I got you all your followers.
It wasn't for me.
Just kidding. We have 12 programs total within the Department of Health, and not everyone has a Facebook page. So our page is kind of like a hub for those two. We do share all of our pages for our other programs, but those ones that don't have it, we're going to try to use that as a database to help push their stuff out. And those ones are important. Most of them are the direct care services, and a lot of them, their age population is the elders, which I know we do have a quite bit of elders that do use Facebook. Not always nice, but some of them know how to use it.
On that one page.
Oh my goodness. We won't go into that, but we would just still like to kind of push it out there. That way we can get as much as our information spread across as far as we can. So
it'll be the Cheyenne and Arapahoe Department of Health.
I believe it does say that on there.
Cheyenne and Arapahoe Department of Health Facebook page.
Yes.
Like, share, follow.
Please. We did want to do like a drawing where we would give away some Department of Health swag, but I'm like, man, there's a lot of people to keep up with. But I mean, we'll go through the friend list and maybe add that and take some stuff from everybody and send that out. Why is this fly on me? It's bugging me. Let me switch. Cheyenne and Arapahoe Tribes Department of Health.
Okay.
So that's what the current one
Yeah,
is.
like, share, follow. Hopefully she gets some swag going and you'll be entered into a drawing maybe.
Yeah, what y'all want? Let's see. Yeah, let me know. Let me know on the comments page on there, and we can put something together for sure.
Your supply of rice and beans.
Yeah, I know. People will be excited about that, man.
Yeah.
That's why people always choose
Some meat gravy.
grocery baskets. Grape dumplings.
Yeah. Meat gravy, grape dumplings.
We're upset with you about that, by the way. How y'all gonna have grape dumplings in the building and not invite the only 2 creeks in the building? They didn't even tell us.
Y'all were gone.
I know.
Yeah,
I
we're
am.
gone.
I know.
That's why we had it.
Dang. But no, thanks for
Don't
inviting
go.
us.
Drew said he's gonna get a hold of your mom and tell her not to let you nurse.
Too bad, Drew. I'm getting all the new news today.
Dang. Mary Faye said thank you for your singing.
Aw, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much.
Get out there and vote.
Get out there and vote.
Yes.
Save time for tomorrow to come out to our dance.
Yes, come to our dance here at Clinton on Dogpatch Road at the ERC in Clinton, Oklahoma. I believe we'll start about 2, supper at 5. We have some 58-inch TV to raffle. We got a lot of food. We have a pretty good head staff, and we're trying to bring the culture to Clinton. So I'm pretty excited about tomorrow. So,
And then if y'all want to stop in and watch our volleyball tournament, it'll be going on across the street at the Clinton Respect Gym. We have 6 teams. First game starts at 10. We're not running on native time. Told them they got to be on time. Trying to stop me out there. I can't be. I was like, bull. I said 15 minutes early.
10 o'clock, everybody's like, that's too early.
No, like what? But no, tomorrow, and that is our Rallying for Recovery, Serving Up Hope.
cool.
We were originally supposed to have that during Recovery Month, and we had to push it back, so we aligned it with you guys. So we'll be across the street having that tournament. So come stop
That's
by.
awesome sauce.
You want to be a line judge?
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah, for real though, if you guys do want to come out and volunteer, I would love any help we could get. And I do have shirts, so if you want to show up and volunteer, help us out.
I want to show
we
you.
love that. You won't be there. I'm just kidding. I got y'all though.
Well, once again, thank you for coming on. Has anybody got anything else?
Go visit ZacharyBlackout.com.
Goodness.
ZachBlackout.com.
Yes.
Zeke the
Here
Freak.
pretty soon.
Yeah, Zeke the Freak.
Yes. I think he's doing a voter thing.
Lunch and learn, I believe.
Yeah.
That's right. He is doing that.
Listen, I'm honest. Like, I'll be honest. I was one of those people that was never very active in the voting portion, but now being in like a leadership role and then working with people on the tribal, state, federal level and starting to know and understand and realize, not everyone that sits in these seats is for natives. Not all of them want to advocate for natives, and some of them have like no knowledge of that, and they're in here making these decisions that are directly affecting all of us. The only way we're ever going to make change is if we all get out there and unite. Like that's
Gotta
the
vote.
way we have to. So go register. Oh
Blow,
wait, it's
blow,
actually too late for that.
blow.
But go vote. Go vote, please.
This guy.
But thank you all.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Just glad y'all were able to finally get
I
on.
know. Just grab us when you can. You know, we're on the go. There's a lot going on in DOH. Y'all keep us busy.
Yeah.
Faux show.
We definitely are
Yes,
busy.
y'all do.
All right, we'll see you guys back
See
here in a
you
little bit.
soon.